You know, this is what every single last king needs to understand. Embrace the struggle. Don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Embrace the struggle. Hell, in my opinion, you should even seek the struggle. If you aren't struggling right now, there's something wrong. Things are too easy. You should always be seeking the struggle. Now, you have to understand what the struggle is. The struggle is God's way of testing you and God's way of building you into who he wants you to become. It's all God's plan. You gotta trust in God's plan, because God, he's the ultimate puppet master, and you have to understand, when you have God by your side, you will always win in the end. You will always win in the end. Whatever you're going through right now, drop everything that you're doing and go follow God. Go seek his righteousness, and all things will be added onto you. That's what you have to understand. And the struggle is his way of testing you. Let's say you're following God. You're on your path to kinghood. You're on your path to the kingdom of heaven. You're just following God. You're on a narrow path. And things are getting hard for you. People are leaving you. You're just experiencing lots of failures, lots of rejections, and lots of hardship. Embrace it. Keep going, because that's God's way of testing you. He's testing your faith. He's testing your character. And not only is he testing you, he's trying to build you into what he wants you to become. He's trying to build you into a king. Now, me personally, looking back at my past, I'm grateful for the struggle, because if it wasn't for the struggle, if it wasn't for the hardship that God put me through, I wouldn't be making the videos that I'm making right now. God molded me into he's still molding me into who he wants me to become. It's all God's plan. It's all God's plan. You have to trust in God. You have to seek his righteousness and never lose faith, because it's all a test, man. Just trust in God. And I recommend every single last king to read the book of Job. And in that book, God, he takes everything away from this guy who was seeking God's righteousness. But it was all God testing him. And at the end, it all worked out for Job, because he stayed faithful to God. And that's how you have to be. You have to embrace the suffering, embrace the struggle. Continue to seek God's righteousness no matter what you go through, and everything will work out for you in the end.